Experienced hunters say that you should not look into the eyes of a wild animal. By looking, the predator instantly senses the fear in the eyes of the person and attacks. When encountering an animal in its natural habitat, it is best to look away and slowly move to a safe distance, never turning your back on it. But the heroine of our story today either did not know this rule or forgot about it at the most crucial moment, and what happened in this story leaves too many questions, yet so few answers. Perhaps after listening to it, you will be able to explain such unusual behavior of the wild inhabitant of the taiga. It happened many years ago in a remote taiga village. Natalia, together with her husband and son, fled from the noisy city to a quiet place in the middle of the forest. There were plenty of homes available as many young locals dispersed to the city, and much work was also available. Natalia had graduated from an agricultural college with a degree in veterinary medicine and quite successfully practiced in the animal clinic. Natalia's husband Andrew was a first-class welder, and he also easily found a job. The only negative thing was that Natalia's work was very far from their home, and every day the woman had to walk through the taiga forest along a clay path. She was very afraid of wild animals, so her husband met her every day from work, taking with him a hunting rifle, not so much for hunting, but for protection if necessary. Going home together felt safer, so every day after finishing work, Natalia went out onto the porch and peered into the distance in search of her husband, then joyfully ran to meet him. But one day, Andrew did not come. No matter how long Natalia looked into the distance, her husband did not appear. It was evening and it was already getting dark. The woman had no choice but to go through the forest alone. She walked and listened to every rustle, every crunch under her feet startled her. It was the first time she had walked this path alone, the first time her husband did not come to meet her. If she only knew why he did not come for her that day. A few hours before, Andrew had been working furiously, trying to finish his work on time in order to meet Natalia. He was so absorbed in his thoughts about finishing his work as quickly as possible that he completely forgot about safety. On that day, he was cutting metal rods in order to later weld a roof frame for a new shed from them, but due to his absent-mindedness, the tool fell from the man's hands and caused a fatal wound. He passed away before anyone could provide help. Natalia went into the thicket, and having gone about halfway, she suddenly felt a pair of eyes on her. Numb with terror, she slowly turned around and saw a huge tiger right behind her, a couple of meters away from her. He stood and looked straight into her eyes, but at that same moment, she saw something painfully familiar in this look. It was as if she knew that look, as if she had already looked into those eyes. From the fear and confusion that overcame her, Natalia fainted right in front of the huge wild beast. How long she lay there, she didn't know, but she woke up in a hospital. It turned out that the locals, having learned about Andrew's death, sent local men to meet Natalia. They found her lying on the ground, could not wake her, and simply carried her to the hospital in their arms. When the woman came to her senses, a new shock awaited her, the news of the death of her beloved husband. For a long time, the woman could not understand anything. Only her son could brighten up her grief and supported her in those difficult days. Time passed, the pain of loss gradually lightened, and Natalia again went to work. Now her son was meeting her from work, although the woman was not particularly happy about this, but the boy himself insisted on it. In one of these meetings, returning along the taiga path, the boy saw raspberries in the bushes. He told his mother to stay where she was while he picked up some berries. Enthusiastically collecting raspberries, he did not notice how next to him, at arm's length, a huge brown bear appeared. Natalia was the first to see the beast and called her son almost in a whisper, but he did not hear. The woman slowly bent down, grabbed a stick that was lying under her feet, and with a loud cry rushed at the bear, diverting his attention from her son, shouting at him to run away as soon as possible. The bear stood up on its hind legs and growled, but then the bear howled in pain. At first, it was not clear what happened until the predator fell to the ground. Only then Natalia saw that the bear was attacked from behind by the same tiger which she had met here in the forest. The painfully familiar look of the tiger again made the woman shudder. The tiger stood for a few more seconds and then with one leap disappeared into the bushes. Local residents, having heard this story, said that it was the spirit of her husband who moved into the tiger and guarded his beloved wife and son, that even after his death, he did not leave them but became their guardian angel in the form of a wild beast. To believe it or not is a personal matter for everyone. What do you think? Can this idea be true? Or is there some other explanation for such strange behavior of the tiger? Share your opinion in the comments. Maybe you have heard similar stories or know why the tiger did not touch Natalia and her son, but saved them from the bear.